Would you please stand? Welcome, Mary.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we are going to discuss the superintendent evaluation. I guess I'll start with you, John, and see if there's anything that you would like to
Sure. So
discuss.
typically, I don't stay too long for this part of the process, so that you can have, confident, well, they're not really confidential since they're on camera, but you can speak freely.
You can go watch from your office.
No, I'm gonna go move on to other things.
We won't even know because it's the live stream.
That's right, and I'll see it all on Thursday anyways. I will just share that I have the binderized version of the folder here, so if that's easier. It's separated out into the 5 sections, one for each standard and one for the goals, my personal goals. Each section begins with a section that has reflections on the standard or the goals, and then the first section has my overall reflection on the evaluation cycle. I guess I would just thank you all for the time and effort that goes into this evaluation. I know that it's a lot of work to do one of these evals, so thank you. And if you have any questions while I'm here, I'm open.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for John before he goes?
No, I think not.
Okay?
Okay, thank
Good
you.
luck.
You too.
Thanks.
I couldn't resist. Right, sorry.
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay, so we can do this anyway. So we have, I don't know if everyone has seen in the drive, there are other evaluations that people have completed that we can refer to. We can discuss, we can kind of talk, about our thoughts on the evaluation. But then when we come up with a cumulative, what we want to present to John, we will probably review everybody's evaluation and try to incorporate those together to kind of come up with something to present to him on Thursday night. That's really going to be fairly simple, I think, with the use of AI, being able to making sure that we're pulling bits from everybody's. Well, I think that's just we only have so much time, so.
Yeah.
But I think we can talk about, some of the highlights and some things that, we thought were important that came out from us. And then also we can refer to the ones that are in the drive and kind of talk about what, kind of how they felt as well, and see if we're all aligned, because the most important part is to see kind of, looking at each of the goals, and then at each of the standards, and really seeing, how people rated the superintendent, and then, there's an option to leave comments at the end of each of those sections, and then we can kind of discuss that, and then see what we feel the overall rating is, and then how we want to present that to you. Yeah?
Yep.
We can do it anyway. That's just what we did last time, and I think that's what you did before. Yeah.
Do we want to, I haven't looked at what's in the drive.
Okay. We can start with that.
Do you want, take my computer?
I don't want to mess with the live stream.
Oh, it won't. It won't mess. I always,
Okay.
I go on it, Mike, when I'm at school committee, I go on
Okay.
to do the bus calls and stuff. Very important job, I thought.
One of yours?
Yeah.
I look forward to getting those messages. I miss them actually. There's been so few.
I know, well.
All right, so. All right, I see. So we've got comments from 4 here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, we can start, unless any of us want to start with sort of our thoughts, we can just kind of work our way through.
I think I'm gonna have to excuse myself. I think I left my purse in the car.
Okay.
And it has my glasses in it.
Okay, sure.
This is all good.
Okay.
Is the car open?
It will be in 1 second. Okay. All right, so on step 1, so that's assessing progress towards goals. So these are in reference to the performance goals. So there's the professional practice goal, the student learning goals, and the district improvement goals. So for the, I wonder actually if we should probably have that part on paper, would be probably helpful. But anyway, so for the professional practice goal, Tim rated significant progress. And then,
Looking at Tim's right now, okay.
okay, yeah.
All right, so I'm on the first sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so superintendent performance goals. Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah, assessing the progress goal, so just the very first page, right under his name,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Tim Hacken has proficient for everything. Oh, assess the progress.
Yeah. So we can move through the standards, so right, so Tim rated proficient for all 4 standards. And then for the summative report, you know, under the comment section, he noted that he was worried about new teacher contract. Reduced PD time for the staff for their professional development, and then the need to continue to push for the middle school improvement.
So, I mean, I don't know, are we supposed to assess these, or, I mean, I don't think the first one is a fair assessment of the superintendent, because the school committee is who negotiated the contract, not Dr. Provost.
Right.
So and that is a very legitimate criticism of us, the school committee.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, are we supposed to have that kind of discussion? I don't know.
We can, so we can kind of go look through everyone's comments and then
Yeah.
see which items we'd like to pull out, because John will see each one of these evaluations. So he's gonna see all of our individual, you know, how we rated him and all of the comments that each of us provided. But we decide as a subcommittee which things we want to take out and create a summary for John based on all of our feedback.
All right, so my thought would be to take out the second one and not the first one.
And so I guess also another helpful thing is maybe reading through everyone's summary, well, going through everything, reading through the summaries, and then deciding, because we might see a theme too, which is really helpful. So we can either, I mean, I'm with you on this, because the contract really doesn't have anything to do with his performance as a superintendent. But I understand the concern about how that will impact, you know, the district, the staff, and John.
I wasn't, since I haven't done this, I wasn't aware of what the format was. And so I anticipated just going through and going as far as I could and making notes on each section.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. But of course, my notes are in your,
Yes, that's
in my house.
All right, so skimming through Mr. Collins' stuff, I mean, the ones that stick, you know, the things that are lower are the ones that are always gonna stick out, right? So, like, I mean, from the very top, you know, he scored him lower, some progress on district improvement goals. But largely proficient for everything.
yeah.
Could you just screen back one?
Oh, yeah.
I think he really hits this very often in his work, the data-informed decision-making. I think there's very few important decisions that he does not follow the data on. So I would give that a proficient. I mean, an exemplary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to fill out one of these, that's the summary of everything.
So do we just do the math?
So, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think, we don't necessarily hand him a cumulative one of these, we kind of just, we present a summary report, sort of what we've compiled from everybody. So you fill out one of these as yourself, as an individual member. It will go in the drive, he will see it, and he'll read all of your comments and your feedback. But then we use all of them to compile a report for him to say, you know, overall, this is how we felt,
Okay.
you know, you performed. You know, so it could be something that, you know, somebody else wrote that resonates with you, or that, you know, just, and, you know, common themes that we find in each person's, you know, if everyone says, like, he was proficient or exemplary, or if there was something that, you know, he needed improvement on, those are some things to report, you know, as our findings.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yes, I have an efficiency suggestion.
Okay.
So, other than yourself, there are 3 other evaluations
Mhm.
on the drive that aren't one of us. So perhaps we each open up a different one, and then we go through these things one by one, interjecting our comments and the comments of the one that we're looking at in front of us, since it would be really hard to look
Yep.
at them all at once.
Yep.
Next to each other. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, which one do you want to do? It's my suggestion, so I get last pick.
Oh, it doesn't,
Did you go print one?
yeah, that'd be it, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Tim's is easy because he doesn't have, those were the only comments,
Yeah.
so that one is easy.
Well, but we've still got all the scores, right?
Yes, yes.
Right, so, and that's mostly, like, I think we should talk about, you know, each of the scores going through there. All right, so you've got Tim open already, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do Mr. Kennedy, Sharon, or would you like to do Lisa?
What was my second choice? Or the,
Okay, you're gonna do Lisa.
okay, Lisa, yes.
I'll open up Mr. Kennedy's. Okay.
Excellent.
Here's Lisa's.
All right.
For Cheryl?
Now, do we have a computer for her to see,
I'm giving her just the
Printed,
That's
yeah.
fine.
the printed?
Printed.
Okay. All right. But how do we pull up, we need to pull up Lisa's evaluation.
I gave her,
Cheryl will report
Cheryl,
from her copy.
Oh.
So she'll read, we'll have,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so now, all right, so starting, all right, so back, all right, so step 1, for all 3 in step 1, Mr. Kennedy felt was a met there. I don't know, I guess my perspective is a little skewed on this because I've spent so much time working with John on the middle school project. So I'm inclined to my preference, so my mark would be an exceeded for district improvement goals. Keeping in mind that's a capital improvement, it's not really an educational improvement. But then Sean had a met. How about now, what did Lisa have in step 1?
In step 1, she had,
For all of them?
no, I thought you had step 1, the first one, professional practice was in that. Then exceeded, no, significant progress, and then met. Met, significant progress, met. Okay.
And what did Tim have?
Tim had, he had significant progress for professional practice and student learning, and some progress for district improvement. And then I had, met for all three.
Okay, so it seems like we're averaging met for all of them,
Yeah.
right? Unless did anyone else, nobody else had exceeded for district improvement goal, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that would
Yeah.
be, all right, so the summary, do we have another blank one of these?
Yes, I have plenty.
Or maybe, you know, I should just make this the summary. Well, okay, we want to make this the summary?
What I would also do, just because I can tell you that my comments are long, so I can specifically speak to that, I would wait as we go through each of the, as we move down.
I'm thinking we do the scores and then,
Oh, yeah,
and
okay,
then you can pull the comments together with
Okay.
the AI.
yeah,
Unless, but like we kind of talk about
Yes,
the comments,
yep.
and if we think that any maybe should be excluded, then,
mhm,
so,
Yeah.
but I think it's probably fair to say it really shouldn't be excluded. Everybody's word should be heard, right, so.
right.
All right, so this is the summary for the scores. All right, so we're gonna go with met for all three in step one?
Mhm.
Okay. Check, check, check. Okay, now,
I'm sorry, you changed Lisa's?
No, Mike is right in doing,
kind of an average.
Oh, okay, fine.
Most everybody had a met, but we're not gonna change
So
Lisa's score is what hers is.
on district
Exactly.
improvement goals, Tim did have only some progress.
So he had only some progress,
Mhm,
I had exceeded,
okay,
and
Okay.
then everybody else had met, right?
so Matt it is.
Met it is, okay. Is that fair, or should we bump it down to significant progress?
Let's see as we go, because I think some comments might help guide us
Okay,
into, yeah, or
All right.
conversation even, not even comments, just our conversations
Okay.
based on what people are sharing.
So there's three of you, and you each have one other person, but we have 7 people, I think, who's doing whiches.
Nothing's been submitted by,
Okay,
by,
Right.
so,
all right.
by fortunate luck or unluck.
Okay. I just didn't want it to get to the end and say, oh my gosh, we have 7, not 6.
Right,
so.
thank you.
No, that's a good point. All right, so in step 2, Mr. Kennedy has scored standard 1 at proficient, standard 2 at exemplary, standard 3 at proficient, and standard 4 at proficient. My thoughts would be, one of the things I kind of think John has excelled at is family and community engagement and communication. So I personally would put an exemplary there, and then I would put proficient for the others.
Management and operations, I would put exemplary, because he's changed the way we do business. From the day one, he came in and started building his own inner team, and I've never seen that done before. And that inner team grew and grew and grew to what we have now, which is a really effective team of professionals leading the district in a collegial way. So I'm gonna give you that, instruction, management and operations.
Okay, you gave him exemplary on which one?
I gave him exemplary on,
The family and
Family
communication.
engagement.
should I be doing hash marks here? Is that what I should be doing, hash marks?
Well then, so Tim gave, well, it's interesting actually, this is So he gave proficient on everything, but he also had a mark on exemplary for professional culture. So far, everyone's giving him an exemplary on. And what did Sean give an exemplary on?
Sean gave an exemplary on management and operations as well,
Okay,
along with Cheryl or
Yeah.
Lisa?
Cheryl,
Okay. And Lisa did all
proficient.
proficient. Okay.
And I also did proficient all the way across the board.
Okay, so then clearly proficient for instructional leadership.
Mm-hmm.
See, my exemplary, was family and community engagement for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was management and operations was from Sean, the exemplary, and then the exemplary from you was in
The same with
management and operations. So I'm the only one that felt family and community engagement, so probably that should stay at proficient. And the management and operations go up to exemplary.
We can, it means, it's all, we can.
I think it's fair. Really does do a good job with that. All right, so then the other two proficient. Yay?
Yep.
Okay.
So then we'll move down, we're not gonna do this summary yet, because I think it's important that we go through each of the standards. Before we do a summary, we can't give a summary based on no information.
You mean you want to skip the evaluator comments page right now?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
and we can do that, that's sort of what the end will look like.
Okay. Okay. All right, so now we're into
The superintendent's performance goals.
superintendent's performance goals. Okay, so, all right, there's four sections in here. Sean has them met for the first two. They're student learning goals, professional practice goals. He's, for district improvement, he's got him at exceeds. And, for establish one or more innovation career pathways, exceeds. Okay, he did do that, so yes. Establish equity walk practice, and he put it in that. I'm guessing Sean went with exceeds for E because he did the more, right? We have now 2 innovative career pathways,
Correct.
starting in the fall, right?
Mhm.
So I think, I agree with the exceed for that.
The innovative, the second
But
innovative.
the third one, the innovative, establish one or more innovative career pathways.
Succeeds.
And then I agree with Sean's hash marks on this one, with met for the first two and met for the bottom.
Okay.
So,
Did we skip over equity walk?
nope,
That's just proficient on that.
Met.
You did 2 of them.
Mhm.
what do you have?
What? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good. So, it looks like Lisa had, for the student learning goal, she had significant progress met, and then the rest of them were met as her responses. And then Tim had, for the student learning goal, did not meet. So, just for people watching, so the student learning goal, that's to reduce chronic absenteeism, increase achievement of student subgroups, increase participation in advanced coursework by student subgroups. So that was did not meet. He had for the professional practice goal of improving support for teaching development and growth as significant progress. And then, I think he had mixed feelings about the next twos, which were the district improvement goals. The first being establish one or more innovation career pathways and establishing the equity walk practice. He had some progress and significant progress marked for both.
Okay.
That surprises me,
Mm.
because, I would have thought he'd really excel in both. He'd spent a lot of time and effort, and it showed in all the things I read, that, the teachers appreciated it. He did a good job.
Yeah, it's, so I put met for all of them.
Mhm.
So I can just tell you my thought process as I went through it. You know, so when I looked at the description of reducing chronic absenteeism and increasing achievement of student subgroups, when you look through the artifacts, you could see that there was improvement, that they did, he was able to reduce, or collectively, you know, the district has been able to reduce the chronic absenteeism. He showed the percentage. While it's not a 50% increase, there was an increase, there was improvement. Again, the same thing for the achievement of the student subgroups. And then also the same with the increased participation in advanced coursework. So that was sort of my thought process. Like those were the descriptions of the goal, and he met them, and he shared the artifacts that, you know, corresponded. So to me, that was meeting. You know, everything, I mean, I feel, as I was doing this, like there was a lot of things that could have been marked as significant progress, but did he complete the task that he set out? We're not saying that he's done, right? There's still work to be done, but did he, when we talked about improving support for teaching development and growth, has there been significant progress? Absolutely. But did he improve it? Did he improve it? We didn't give a specific measure of what the increase needed to look like, but did he improve it? Yes, he did. He was able to demonstrate and show in the artifacts that he was able to improve those. Same with establishing one or more innovation career pathways. Well, we know the healthcare pathway started last year. So he was able to establish it. We did start it. They were hoping for 40 students. I think we got 23. So yes, that was a success in the fact that it was established, it did run. One or more. We have another one starting. It's not 8 to 12, but it is grades 9 to 12, and that will be starting next year. So to me, that was something that he met. Is there still room for improvement? Can we increase those numbers? Can we, you know, potentially add more pathways? Absolutely. So it's not done. When I was thinking about this, met did not mean that it's done and you can just forget about it and move on to something else. You know, so to me, that's where I came up with the met. And then establishing the equity walk practice. He did establish the equity walk. He did complete the second equity walk this spring. So he not only established it, but he also completed it. You know, completed 2 successful equity walks. Again, will they continue? Will they improve? Will they evolve? Absolutely. So to me, that's where I came up with that he met those goals.
Okay.
That was just so
No, that's very well said.
a long
I
time
mean, it's-
thinking about that. So.
Yeah, and I think there would have been more students in the innovative career pathway probably if it didn't include the 8th grade and it started at 9th grade.
Right.
I have a feeling that moving to the high school was a detriment to it, not an asset to it.
Right.
But we'll discover that coming into the new year, when there's gonna be 2 pathways, both starting in the 9th grade.
What was your thinking on why it might have been a detriment?
Well, if we listen to the voice of the community, people did not want the 8th graders going to the high school. So I have a feeling that there may have been some 8th graders that might have been signed up for the health one, but the parents didn't sign them up because they didn't want them to go to the high school.
I see.
So,
I didn't realize they had to go to the high school. I thought you were doing it within.
well, it was to start in the 8th grade.
Yeah,
Others
yeah, the 8th grade.
did not, 9th graders have the opportunity to sign up for it if they wanted to. They did, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see what happens this year with that. But, so, I mean, I share your, I mean, it sounds like kind of, but on the first one there, I don't think we can give them a met because Tim did not meet at all. So maybe the first one, we put significant progress, and then the next three are met?
We can do that. Lisa gave us significant progress on the first one as well.
Okay. So everybody thought it, so we've got 4 mets, 1 significant progress, and 1 did not meet. So maybe that averages to significant progress, sort of, kind of? Or sometimes it's a little, it's not an average, median.
What's the fourth one? Significant progress, then we have a met, and then we have exceeded, that's 3.
Which is on the print, he just,
Where's the fourth?
he's gonna be
You said we got 4 met.
Huh?
I'm confused.
No, I was gonna say that we probably can't score them above significant progress
Okay.
on 1F because Tim did not meet, and Lisa gave him a significant progress. But I think we could score a significant progress for that. And then the other 3 give him a met. Is that fair?
We actually have one more coming, so let's see also what Rich has to say. Rich is coming in right now.
Oh,
There's 4 people?
we have a quorum of the committee on this?
No, sorry, his evaluation form is coming in.
What, now the system's not gonna work?
Right. Well, the other piece too is while we can kind of provide this rating for our discussion, we're not handing him one copy on behalf of the group, so,
Okay,
which I think will help,
but it's still good to talk through it
It is,
because it
yeah.
helps us.
yeah.
Okay. So we're waiting?
We can. Okay. So yeah, so the other ones you were saying that. Okay, so, I think everyone else gave met on everything. Tim gave everything significant progress. Well, he actually gave, some progress to significant progress for the last 2. So,
But he's the only one that scored him below on those, right?
mhm,
So then I think the median pushes it to the met.
mhm. Okay, so we'll continue. We'll circle back when we get. Yeah, so now we'll talk about standard 1, the instructional leadership. So this includes curriculum, instruction, assessment, evaluation, data-informed decision-making, and student learning.
All right, so Sean gave him proficient for the first 2. On assessment, he gave him a needs improvement. And then he gave him on evaluation, he gave him a proficient. Data-informed decision-making, he gave him exemplary.
So that sounds like an overall rating. You got proficient, is that right?
From Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Oh, so for the overall, Sean did give him proficient, yes.
Okay.
So, Dr. Provost really has presented us with a lot of data,
Mm-hmm.
but I've only been on the committee for 1 term so far. I'm inclined to think that is, the data he's presented is exemplary. But I don't know, what do you guys feel in terms of, is it the average amount, or is it?
Well, From my point of view, I don't look at it that way. I look at him stepping into the role. I think he was uncomfortable and a little stiff for probably a semester of being in the role, and that can affect his ratings too. So I'm not sure exactly how to put it. It's a hard thing to rate, whether you're proficient in being comfortable in your role. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think now he is comfortable in his role.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he pushed himself to the top.
So let's see,
Yeah, my thoughts are proficient on everything except the data-informed decision-making. I would put exemplary because I saw a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
Tim gave proficient all the way for all indicators and an overall proficiency rating. I did the same, proficiency across and overall,
Okay, I'll do the same.
and I think, yeah, Lisa did the same.
I think that's,
Okay. All right, so that basically means proficient for everything.
Yeah, and
Unless you
then
think me and Sean are enough to bump 1E up to exemplary. Probably not.
he has comments under the first standard, so why don't you read his comments?
All right. He does. Dr. Provost demonstrates a strong command of district data and consistently relies on multiple data points when evaluating, this is what I just said, evaluating issues and making decisions. As is often the case for superintendents entering an established organization, leading long tenured staff through change can present challenges, particularly in a district where many employees have served for decades. This year's union and contract negotiations added another layer of complexity to that work. Despite these challenges, Dr. Provost has continued to build an effective administrative team and has established systems that promote consistency, accountability, and operational efficiency. His administration is functioning cohesively, and I believe the district is well positioned to continue making positive progress under his leadership.
Okay. Tim did not have any comments. Lisa doesn't have any comments. My comments were, much of his instructional leadership this cycle has focused on building a culture where the teams work together, use evidence, and are willing to look honestly at their own practice. That leadership shows up in the literacy roadmap, the math materials, and the assessment inventory. Because the work is intentionally shared, his individual role in shaping it is not always the most visible part of the final product. His leadership is clearest in the work that he authors directly, including the district review letter, the focus indicators memo, and the data session that connected specific instructional changes to more equitable outcomes. His accountability reports also speak directly to the student learning goal by tracking chronic absenteeism, subgroup achievement, and advanced coursework. These reports have become more thorough and more focused on equity while remaining honest about the gaps that still need attention. This supports a proficient rating with his data leadership closest to exemplary. An area for continued growth is showing that these systems are leading to better outcomes for the student groups named in the student learning goal, especially students with disabilities and students at the high school level. So, and then I just noted one last point about the evidence. It's not the quality of his practice, but much of his leadership happens before the finished product exists in forming teams, designing processes, and making the structural decisions that let the work happen. Because the artifacts are mostly the team's finished products, which was great to see that so much of it was not his work, but he was sharing the work of his team. That work is not always visible. So evidence that points more directly to it in future cycles would help the committee recognize his individual contribution, such as the leadership, which is his leadership, that makes the collaborative work possible without taking credit away from the teams. So it's not a ding, it was just one of those things that I would like to see more of. You know, you can see obviously that he, what he's bringing and how he's bringing things out in his leadership team. But I would, when we're talking about the artifacts for these things that are pointing directly to each one of these standards, I would like to see more of that personally.
I like those comments.
And, I like that you spent a lot of
You
time
have
thinking
riches.
Yes.
about what you can- I think that-
Michelle, I did grab John's folder, because I thought there is one I thought I had to put one in his folder. So there must be one, and I don't think it's just yours, because you signed it, but I do believe we did a cumulative one.
Oh, we did, oh, okay,
Just because it's in his,
okay,
it's, you know, I think we must do one
okay,
after. You
Across the
definitely did a
board.
report.
Yeah.
That was how it was presented
Okay.
but this must be the one that gets put in his file.
okay,
And maybe even we have to submit that, I don't know if it has to be submitted to the state.
okay,
But anyways, we did just do one.
okay, my pressure's on.
Oh, wait, what are?
We did do a cumulative one. I just looked in John's folder
Okay.
file, and I thought I had to put one in that's.
It's all,
Yeah, no, it's great.
it's under control. All right, so
I
to
feel like
not
I'm in
go
the operating
backwards,
room.
so Rich's thoughts on the section we're working on here, he has proficient for everything, he didn't give an overall rating, and he had no comments.
Okay,
So I think that the consensus of the committee is proficient for everything there,
correct.
and then pull in all the comments that were made by you and Mr. Kennedy. Except if you need to cut some comments out, I would say that the part about the union negotiations, I mean, it just doesn't seem to be on topic for this section at all.
Mhm.
And once again, is not Dr. Provost's responsibility. The trouble with the union negotiations is all us.
Mhm.
That's
Correct.
us. So, it's us negotiating with the town and negotiating with the teachers.
So are we gonna leave that part out? Of the narrative?
That would be my thought, but I don't know what you guys think.
No, I'm in agreement with that. I think it doesn't, I think that, he'll see the comments and those comments will continue to live.
Yeah.
And, the evaluation of the person, the evaluator that submitted it, and I think that's great. So John will see that and see that there is recognition for his dedication to negotiations. John is actually not part of negotiations, that's part of his contract, in fact.
Right.
So I'm in agreement with it not being part of the official evaluation for this cycle.
Cool, okay. So, should I make a note here? So, who's gonna actually do the AI pulling all the, you're gonna
I
do
will,
that?
yeah. So
Okay,
if you
you're
just
gonna-
do this part,
Okay, I'll
yeah.
just do the boxes, okay, and then you got the
Yep.
comments, okay. Super awesome. Cause I've done like one thing with AI ever, so.
Oh, really?
No, I did two things. I had it make a logo for the practice, and then but it was just for,
Your
it was just for,
practice?
huh?
Your practice?
Yeah, but it was just for a talk, it wasn't for
Okay.
anything official.
Yeah.
It was just quite comical, I had a group photo of all of us, and I uploaded it to the AI, and I said, make me a logo based off this picture for pediatric surgery in Springfield, Massachusetts, and use a superhero theme. And so, we're all, changes the picture so that we're all wearing capes with the wind blowing, and it looked cool.
Funny.
Yeah, but it's not our official logo.
Not
So-
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, so now we're on to the next page here, superintendent's performance rating for standard 2, management and operations. Standard 2, management and operations. Okay, so, on this, all right, Sean's got exemplary for 2A. He's got exemplary for 2B. He's got proficient for 2C. He's got 2D exemplary, and 2E exemplary, and overall exemplary, and comments that I'll read at the end, I guess.
So Rich, do you want me to, Mike, do you want me to read Rich? Would it be easier since now you're doing another
Nope.
job?
Rich right here.
Okay.
All right, Rich, did proficient for the first 4 of them, and then didn't give anything for the overall or 2E fiscal systems, so.
He did say it was difficult because he was doing it all on his phone, he said it wasn't really mobile friendly, but
I can't believe he did this much on his own, really.
he did a good job.
So. I don't know, I think, so, I don't know, my thought is largely proficient along all of these.
I'm having trouble just, thinking what the, management systems would be.
Well, that, I was thinking about that, like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, he can't, can he get credit for the app that shows where the buses is?
I don't know.
That sort of works, sort of doesn't work still,
Yeah,
but,
scheduling and management.
but it's, wasn't there before.
I think if you're looking at just cutting it out in terms of the
I mean, he's always
buses,
extremely well organized for the committee meetings.
but getting back to the buses have been a trial for the whole 2 years.
Has been, right, because we didn't
Yeah.
have enough bus drivers,
That's right.
but, largely we got by, right? We only had one bus catch fire, we didn't, one student got
I'll go
lost.
with proficient, I'm not gonna go with.
Proficient, okay, yeah.
So I think the bus can be used, I considered that something, but also, changing the middle school schedule and, increasing the blocks. So they had time to spend more time, instructional time on certain, classes where they were seeing, the teachers weren't able to get the material, so they extended some certain blocks for math.
Okay.
So what are you thinking you're doing?
I did proficient all the way down,
Okay.
and then Tim did, the first 3 were proficient. So first 3, so environment, human resources, management and development, scheduling and management information systems. And then for number 4, law, ethics and policies, he gave an exemplary. Fiscal systems, he did needs improvement. And then overall rating for management and operations, he gave a needs improvement.
Okay,
How does that, it doesn't add up.
Just reading what's
Yeah,
in front
I
of
know.
me.
I
I'm not
think
allowed
I,
to edit other people's evaluations.
no, I know, it's, I
It
mean,
doesn't add up.
I don't know, my thought is, yeah, I don't know, law and ethics might be and exceeds, I mean, he really does know the policy very well. I mean, he really, policy meetings would be torture without his knowledge and expertise.
They actually, before you got here, they were
What?
pure torture, policy was just very difficult.
And, policy is very straightforward, I mean,
I'll-
you don't see, but like, for each policy meeting, he has like the proposed changes, and he, in addition to the policy, that's a red line version with the proposed
Oh, yes.
changes, he gives a couple sentence summary at the top of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, right, because you've watched the policy meeting, so you know that, I mean,
I
it's
was
just,
on policy before.
oh, but you were never on policy with me,
Yes,
you were?
yes.
Oh, okay,
you're
Only for
working
like
too
a
hard.
meeting or 2. It was a meeting,
Yes.
meeting or 2, and
She
then.
was brilliant.
okay, so,
Doctor, you're working too hard.
He also just embodies policy, something that's just really important, whether it's, the school policies, whether it's, federal policy or state, whatever it is, he's very,
Policy.
yeah. Making sure
Okay,
that he
so-
stays abreast of that.
so do we have enough that we could do an exemplary for law, ethics, and policies, and then
Yeah.
proficient in the rest?
Yeah. I think,
Sure. I think that's the strength.
And then I guess the overall ends up being proficient then. All right, Sean's comments here. With Dr. Slaughter as a key member of the leadership team, the district has continued to strengthen its operations and strategic direction. Together, their leadership has helped move the district toward during an exceptionally challenging period. The district's financial management continues to improve despite declining resources and increasing fiscal pressures. This was a particularly difficult budget year cycle and school year, requiring the board and administration to navigate challenging decisions involving budget reductions, staffing operations, and complex union negotiations. Despite these significant obstacles, Dr. Provost and his team remained calm, thoughtful, and professional throughout the process. As we finish out the school year, I believe the administration was able to shield students from much of the disruption and uncertainty facing the district. The ability to maintain focus on student needs while managing substantial financial and operational challenges is a testament to the leadership, expertise, and steady guidance provided by Dr. Provost and his team. I would say that the last sentence here should definitely be pulled forward. I really like that sentence, and I think that does hit home. I think there's some of the things in these comments that I'm not sure is attributable to Dr. Provost. He certainly was very professional, even though I think one time he almost was at tears for consenting to cuts. But I think kind of you all were, so.
So this standard covers the operational work that makes teaching possible, and his focus has been on making that work more reliable. When the 2-tier bus system caused near daily delays, he moved to a 3-tier bus system and cut delays by 65% in one semester. He also added 35 periods to the middle school year so teachers could finish the 6th and 7th grade math units that had not had time. There had not previously been time to cover. Proficiency rose in grades 6 and 7. That is a clear line from an operational decision to student results, and it advances his student learning goal. He strengthened how the district hires and supports staff, directly addressing his professional practice goal. He put bias-aware, evidence-based hiring guidelines in place and added 50 hours of mentoring beyond the first year, both aimed at improving support for teaching and professional growth. In more sensitive areas, he showed steady judgment. When federal immigration enforcement rules around schools changed, he gave staff measured guidance. He also submitted a formal comment to the state on equity of the Chapter 70 funding formula. So this supports the proficient rating. The one thing on fiscal systems, the indicator asks whether he builds a budget within available resources. The strongest fiscal evidence here that he presented in the artifact shows his advocacy that available funding is not sufficient to meet the district needs. The advocacy matters, but it is not the same thing. So in future cycles, I would like to see more evidence of the budget building side of his leadership. So that just, again, speaks to, again, in the first time where just, there's something that when I'm looking at the artifacts, I'm looking at the, his goals, the standards, and I'm trying to pull the information, so I just would like to see more of that to support the standard.
I guess that's fair. I mean, it's just, we haven't been in a position for years to have there be any budget for building or expansion or, additional of any other services, right? We've been, the last several years, we've not had enough community resources to maintain the bare minimum necessary for programs ongoing. And so every year, there's been program reductions and cuts and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's fair, but it's like, how hard can we ding them for,
It's not a ding.
Right.
It's more of, I guess in each one, I'm just trying to give something, again, like to work on for next time. So, as far as just something that I'd like to see more of. Again, my thing's not right, just my thoughts.
Cool. Rich did not have any comments.
Okay. Tim did not have any comments.
Okay.
And Lisa didn't either. Okay, so standard 3, family and community engagement.
Before we go there, my question is, when you're saying that there's been no movement in terms of, being able to upgrade our structural.
There's been no movement in terms of funding, from the increase in funding from the towns.
Okay, because I know that, we have done some
But
things at
he did-
Memorial,
No,
in programming for, children.
and maybe that wasn't even a fair comment that I made, because now that I think about it, we did get grants for the
Yeah.
Innovative Career Pathway, right? So that's from outside the towns, it's just,
I just wanted to be clear on that, because I think it's not a lot, but it is something, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm not saying that he's supposed to solve the budget crisis and do any of that, but it's just showing when he's, kind of exploring when he's deciding what artifacts to push forward. Maybe going a little bit broader and we know he's doing it, but I'm also going based on the artifacts that he chose to present, so. I'm sure, I know he has plenty of other things he could have chosen. And I appreciate what he did, but I'm just asking for this as well.
okay. All right. Family and a community engagement. Mr. Kennedy has him proficient on all 4 and overall. And then there are
We have engagement, sharing responsibility, communication, and family concerns. How about Rich?
Rich has, right? All right, family and community. Rich has got exemplary for everything. So we got 1 in the proficiencies for everything, 1 in the exemplary for everything. I think exemplary for communication. I get so many messages from Aaron, courtesy of John.
I could also be known as an over-communicator, that would be the nice way of putting it.
Well, I mean, it's good to
Wanted to do a
communicate
couple
though,
bus
right?
calls
I mean,
on
people freak out when anything happens and they don't know about it.
I know, I do them now for 10 minutes, which I never used to do. It used to be like 10-minute window, but now I really do it for that.
So,
There's no place for an alter ego here.
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know, I kind of think engagement, I would personally give them exemplary as well, and then proficient to the others, and proficient overall.
Okay.
Engagement, I would give it to him.
Give what to them? Exemplary?
Exactly,
Okay.
and sharing responsibility. Not sure, I haven't figured out whether or not his long pauses, is he taking everything on himself? He sometimes in our meetings will walk and think and look up at the ceiling, and I have a feeling that I wish I knew what he was thinking about, and the meetings could be a little bit more open, but, and engaging, a little bit more engaging. I think he does that with people, if he's on the football field, he'll kind of walk around, and then walk away. That part of it, there's just something in his mannerisms that puts up a little bit of a wall for me.
So you want to ding him for taking too much on his shoulders? Well, that's fair, because it does say share responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
All right, and I there.
I would put it proficient, but not exemplary.
Oh, you want proficient there, okay.
Not exemplary.
Lisa did proficient all the way down.
Okay.
I did proficient all the way down believe, yes, and then Tim did proficient, on the, actually, he gave proficient on all four, indicators, and then gave an overall rating of needs improvement.
Did that on the other section too. All right, so it's, so in terms of engagement, it's 4 against 3 to go to exemplary, then it's pretty clear the other 3 would be proficient.
What were the so the exemplary wins for 3, is that what you're saying?
No, exemplary, we've got 3 exemplaries and 4 proficients in the engagement.
What are the exemplaries on, that we're talking about?
Huh?
Sharing
Which-
responsibilities.
which
is
three
what
have
I
exemplary?
was talking about. Are we still on that?
3A, we're in
Mhm.
3A, right? No, I'm saying committee members.
Oh.
No, I know, I'm saying, so if we're deciding whether or not we want to give an overall rating of exemplary or proficient, is that what we're talking about?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm wondering which of the 4 indicators had exemplary? Or were-
It's in
3A.
there,
3A.
yeah.
Okay,
Had 3 exemplaries and 4 proficients.
okay.
I don't know if we wanna bump them up to exemplary. We
What were
can't.
the other ones on?
All the other ones are almost all
Oh,
solid
proficient, okay.
proficient. So, but the median is proficient, so you can.
Well, the engagement is
Proficient's down.
actively ensures that all families are welcome members of the classroom and school community and can contribute to the effectiveness of the classroom, school, district, and community. I think it's fair to do exemplary on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I spent a considerable amount of time rereading how the mold issue was in the schools. It's something that no one wants to tackle, and he just jumped in, and it kept going. Every time I turned the page, there was another page that he was letting somebody know, the janitors know, and the
Yeah,
families know, and the little Aunt Sally, you know.
There was a lot of behind the scenes coordinating with that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and bottom line is, this building got opened pretty, pretty much close to on time, despite what happened, so.
yeah. Oh, yes, it was significantly taken care of.
Okay,
So
Cool.
I share responsibility cautiously.
I read Mr. Kennedy's comments already, right?
no.
On this one? I did not, okay.
So what are we giving him on this?
So I think the
Engagement?
overall is gonna be, so I think for 3A engagement, he's gonna get an exemplary. And then for 3B, C, and D, he's gonna get proficient, and for overall, he's gonna get proficient.
Okay.
As the district continues to face fiscal constraints and increasing external pressures, effective engagement and communication will become even more critical. What works today may not be sufficient to meet the challenges of tomorrow. While Dr. Provost currently meets expectations in this area, I believe future success will require an increasingly proactive, adaptive, and forward-looking approach to stakeholder communication. Strengthening relationships with our families, the individuals we ultimately serve, must remain a priority. It is essential that parents and community members understand not only what decisions are being made, but also why they are being made, before concerns escalate into frustration or mistrust. Building understanding early creates opportunities for productive dialogue and stronger community support. Dr. Provost brings a deep reservoir of experience, knowledge, and leadership tools developed throughout his career. However, the challenges facing public education continue to evolve, requiring new approaches and innovative solutions. As he leverages new methods or engagement and communication, it will be important to ensure they foster collaboration, transparency, and trust, rather than division or misunderstanding. These are challenging times for public education, and success Successfully navigating them will require continued adaptability, strong communication, and a steadfast commitment to serving students, families, and the broader community.
He works hard to maintain strong relationships with families and the community. He keeps community and municipal leaders informed about what is happening in the district, including both the wins and the problems, and he responds quickly to emails and concerns. That steady openness has helped build trust and made the district more transparent. The artifacts show the same pattern. On the family survey, results for whether parents feel welcomed, valued, and able to weigh in on school decisions land in the approval range across all 6 schools. He shares responsibility with families rather than working around them, connecting them to community resources and partnering with them on attendance. That work had a measurable impact. Chronic absenteeism fell compared with the state, which also advances his student learning goal. He treats communication with families as a two-way exchange and handles culturally sensitive topics with care and skill. The equity materials he wrote were developed with families and community members. They connect state report card data to a plain language glossary, helping the community build a shared understanding of the district's focus on closing gaps. He also built and trained staff on the district-wide approach to high conflict family concerns, grounded in established de-escalation protocols and tied to policy KE. His role in this work is easy to see, so this supports the proficient rating. The next step is making sure that engagement reaches families who are hardest to reach, so the trust he's building extends to every part of the community.
Those are good comments.
That's a good caveat.
Yeah, I always wanna, it's true though,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I do like 3/4 that, 1/4 this. You have to include some of this, but
Yeah, the thing is, like, some of the comments, I mean, you wanna make sure that it applies to the thing, so I think Sean clearly in all of his comments have a theme, and the things that
Yes.
he's saying, and, sort of the kudos that he's giving to Dr. Provost and whatnot, so that will certainly come through in the report, and then also the discussion that we're having today about some different aspects will also carry through, so I think, and then, also partnered with how we do the overall rating, that will come out as well. That will come through in the comments. Because it's a short little summary that we're providing. Okay, so now we're moving on to professional culture. So this is commitment to high standards, cultural proficiency, communication, continuous learning, shared vision, and managing conflict.
Okay, so on 4A, Mr. Kennedy's got him on proficient. On 4B, he's got him exemplary. On 4C, he's got him proficient. On 4D, he's got him needs improvement. On 4E, he's got him exemplary. On 4E, he's got him proficient. And then 4F, he's got him exemplary, and his overall was proficient. Rich gave him exemplary down the line. Yeah, and overall of exemplary. For 4A, I would give him an exemplary, commitment to high standards, cultural proficiency. He's been all about culture, so I also would give an exemplary for 4B. 4C, I would also give an exemplary. I would say proficient for 4D. I would say proficient for 4E, and or F, proficient as well. So I think overall proficient.
I agree with your, everything but the, communication, strong interpersonal written and verbal communication skills. I think he excels in that. I really do.
I did give him an exceeds on that.
Oh, see.
So I can put you down for another exceed vote on that one?
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then what do you have proficient for everything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Oop, okay.
Okay, and then Lisa was proficient across the board. Tim was proficient for the first one.
Hold on. Getting Lisa's in here. Okay, proficient, Tim.
He was needs improvement and proficient for cultural proficiency.
We're gonna do needs improvement, okay.
And then communication proficient. Continuous improvement was needs improvement and proficient.
We'll do needs improvement there,
Shared vision was needs improvement.
okay.
And then the last one was needs improvement and proficient.
We'll do proficient.
Okay. And then the overall was needs improvement and proficient.
1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's exactly in the middle.
Oh, mine was,
Well, no,
oh, sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out where to put Tim's vote there. We'll put him on needs improvement for the, okay.
so I was proficient in everything except for shared vision. I have needs improvement.
Shared vision. Needs improvement. Okay.
Oh, right, overall was proficient.
Was proficient.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I don't think we have the votes to go to exemplary on anything. Looks like, I think the summative of everyone is gonna be proficient down the line on this one.
I would think so too.
No?
I agree with what you said.
Okay. Oh, last page, okay. All right. Mr. Kennedy's comments. Dr. Provost has demonstrated success in improving outcomes for historically marginalized student populations, reinforcing the principle that a rising tide lifts all ships. These gains reflect a commitment to equity and continuous improvement that has benefited the district as a whole. At the same time, I believe there remains an opportunity to further strengthen the connection between district leadership's vision and the day-to-day experiences of staff. This has been an exceptionally difficult year for teachers, administrators, and support personnel, and the cumulative impact of budgetary pressures, contract negotiations, and broader economic challenges has understandably affected morale and confidence. While Dr. Provost has established a clear direction for the district, I am not certain that all stakeholders fully understand the long-term destination or how current decisions support that vision. Moving forward, continued emphasis on communication, transparency, and relationship building will be critical to ensuring that staff not only understand the district's path, but also feel invested in and supported by it. Professional culture is a pass for this evaluation cycle. However, the challenges facing public education are unlikely to diminish in the near term. Success in the years ahead will depend not only on maintaining a clear strategic direction, but also on building trust, fostering shared ownership of district goals, and sustaining optimism through difficult circumstances. These efforts will be essential to strengthening organizational culture and positioning the district for long-term success.
More than any other standard, this one shows the clearest evidence of his district leadership. He has built a professional culture willing to look honestly at its own work. He led the district self-assessment that walked school and town officials through a candid review against state standards, and he guided the district's first visioning effort, which produced the vision of equity with input from staff, families, and students. His strongest work shows up in the hard situations. After more than 3 years of effort, he moved both select boards to a directional consensus on the long-disputed middle school facilities, an issue with a long and contentious history. When mold was found at Wilbraham Middle School, he kept families informed throughout the process and followed the guidance of experts, even delaying the school opening to protect health and safety. He has led the equity work directly and with courage. He co-facilitated training that names staff concerns honestly and kept the district's equity commitments moving, even when the broader policy environment became more difficult in 2025. He also met key objectives in the standard by establishing the Equity Walk, which now brings leaders and educators into reflective conversations about equitable classrooms, and launching the innovative career pathways by creating an advisory council and adding a pathway at the high school this year. In these examples, he does not avoid difficult conversations. He creates enough structure and trust for the district to move through them productively. So this supports the equity rating, or the proficient rating. While he has met these objectives, they are ongoing rather than finished, and the progression is strong. Because the equity walk is still maturing, their career pathway is new, and the facilities consensus still needs a final agreement. So the next step is to carry these efforts through and show their impact in practice.
I thought what I was reading is that we've already gotten the second round of the equity.
Yep, so we did do it, but he's
Okay.
gonna keep doing it every year, and so even, I think, from the first equity walk to the second, I think that, there was some, he changed things. I think he becomes more thorough.
Yeah.
And I think, he really does ask people to dig a little bit deeper. So I think you can imagine what it's going to look like 5 years from now,
Yeah.
compared to, the inaugural
Yeah.
equity walk, so. It will be interesting, but again, and I think that's for me, when I first started to do the evaluation, I was kind of tied up in is it met, is it this, but then I just had to I was going back and reading through the rubric and thinking well, if I give it a met, because to me that's still a strong, rating,
You did it.
but I'm but again, I go back to it's not done. Just because you met something, it doesn't mean that you've just
Right.
completed that step, there's so many different levels, and, so we're not saying that, oh, you're good, you can just move on and drop it, because you've completed it. I think it's just that you've completed what you set out to do, so, and I appreciate that his goals are not so lofty, where it's something that he's not able to achieve in his evaluation cycle, so I do appreciate the goals that he puts forth. Are reasonable, they are attainable. He does work really hard to try to achieve them. And I think he was able to demonstrate that through the artifacts that he presented.
I would agree. Mhm.
I agree. I agree completely
Yeah.
with that, actually.
Is there anything else that, you wanna add, that we can add into the
Well, we did
summary?
skip the page
Oh,
with the
yeah,
big
that's-
comment
yes,
section.
yes. That's what we have to
Do you
do.
want to go back to that?
Yes.
All right, and just Rich did not have any comments there, and he marked it as exemplary, the summative evaluation report page.
Okay.
All right, so Rich's vote is exemplary. That's what that one for exemplary. Boop. All right, let me read Sean's comments. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Kenny's comments. All right. I have often said that I believe Dr. Provost is better than any vision we could have reasonably hoped for when searching for a superintendent. The district has been fortunate to have strong leaders throughout its history, but what stands out to me about Dr. Provost is that he possesses qualities that are not only valuable today, but may prove essential for the challenges that lie ahead. This year presented significant obstacles for our district. Between budget pressures, contract negotiations, and the many competing demands placed upon public education, there were countless opportunities of uncertainty and division. Throughout it all, Dr. Provost exceeded my expectations. He led with grace, empathy, professionalism, experience, and an unwavering commitment to students, staff, and the community we serve. Perhaps most importantly, Dr. Provost has earned my trust. Leadership is often easiest to evaluate when circumstances are favorable. The true measure of a leader is revealed when conditions become difficult, resources become scarce, and decisions become more consequential. This year provided ample opportunity to observe those qualities, and Dr. Provost consistently demonstrated the steady judgment and character required to guide the district through challenging times. I once believed this school year would be among the most difficult our district had faced in recent memory. Looking ahead, I now believe it may have been only the beginning of a period of continued challenges for public education. That really makes effective leadership more important than ever. While I do not pretend to know exactly what the future holds, I am confident that Dr. Provost possesses the vision, adaptability, and resolve necessary to help lead this district through whatever comes next. For these reasons, I remain optimistic about the future of Hamden Wilbraham, grateful for Dr. Provost's leadership, and excited about what we can accomplish in the years ahead. And he gave an exemplary mark.
So Tim gave a overall proficient, and so the comments were worried about the new teacher's contract, reducing professional development time for staff, and the need to continue to push for middle school improvement. I really met, can you just, on the second page of this one?
Sure.
I think she gave proficient, Lisa gave proficient overall
Okay.
score. I gave, overall proficient score. And my comments were, overall, this was a proficient cycle and he met his goals. Across all 4 standards, he works in a consistent way. He builds his team's capacity along with the culture, systems, and relationships that make improvement possible. That work has produced real results, from cutting bus delays to bringing chronic absenteeism down. He is dependable and hardworking, and he follows through on his commitments. He also does not avoid hard situations, whether a mold closure, a years-long facilities dispute, or equity work in a difficult climate, and he keeps people with him as he works through them. He has built a strong foundation. The next cycle is about showing that foundation translates into stronger outcomes, especially for students with disabilities and students at the high school level.
Cool.
So again, just continuing the work.
All right, Cheryl, I've got 3 proficients and 3 exemplaries.
How would you rate him overall?
It's on you.
Proficient.
Okay. Some of the evaluation will be proficient.
Okay. Do you have any other comments, other things that you'd like to include that stand out to you? That you want to make sure absolutely, even if it wasn't documented on paper, that you would like to see in the summary?
We've got a theme through a lot of the comments that, challenging times, and, has risen to the occasion.
I just said the number was not available. Did Jerry take the number?
And exceeded exceeded expectations.
In any specific areas.
This is summative. One day I'd love to see what he could do if we actually had money to spend.
If you will,
If we actually had money to spend.
yes.
I'm darkening the X's that are the sum of
Thank
the
you.
scores so that it'll be easier for you.
There's no question.
Right. For myself, for the end of the year, summative, I have been so impressed with about his ability to, pull together groups of people and make them into a team, make them efficient, and make them enjoy the work.
Okay.
And we have to really cling to the fact that proficient is not a dirty word.
No, it's not. No, it's
Yeah, I think it's a strong, I think that was one of the conversations we had at our last evaluation subcommittee meeting. It was, you know, if we had to give it a letter grade, you know, we were doing like a B plus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I thought
No.
proficient was like A minus.
Then what's exemplary? A plus?
A plus, actually.
Well, then you don't have as much of a range.
I mean, the way we adjust the scale, I mean, exemplary is really 5.0, right?
But then you don't really have anything for like a,
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Okay.
but I think it's also hard, I mean, I would just caution throwing out exemplaries on everything, because then, you know, then what are we, you know, if people feel that's honestly, you know, how he rates, I mean, that's phenomenal. But I think that we really need to make sure that we're examining, you know, the information that we have before us and what the standards are. And we're not giving a feel-good evaluation, we're here to give like an honest evaluation. And I think there are areas where, you know, certainly being exemplar is, you know, and like there were ones where I felt he was very close to being exemplar, but I think it's not easy to get there.
No, it's not.
And then you're setting the bar very, very high. You know. But it could be something that the school committee comes up with and decides, I mean, it gives you a little, like, you know, kind of like definition of what each of these ratings mean, but the school committee could come up with their own rubric and decide, you know, what is exemplary, what is, you know, proficient. It does give examples, actually, we don't have to recreate it, 'cause actually they already have one, it was actually included in the packet, but it gives you examples, so.
I don't like I don't like the long rubrics.
I know.
We have to use them for the resident evaluations too, and it's,
Wonderful. So,
So what's next?
so that's it,
Okay.
unless you have anything else to add.
No?
Thank you for putting up with me, although I had none of my stuff that I had written out and spent 4 days on. She saw it, it's all over the kitchen.
What happened to it?
I thought I threw it in the car, we were in such a hurry, and I was worried about getting the dog, so she wasn't in the car.
So, yeah. So that's it, so,
But I put in actually everything that I really felt, so.
So everyone's evaluation will show up in the drive. I think everyone will have access to them. John will have access to them on Thursday or whatever. But then I'll share I'll Aaron share the draft, so that if you have any comments, you can just share them back with her, so we're not in an open meeting violation. And
That's
then
good.
I can go ahead and make those changes.
Okay,
Okay,
Yeah, so if there's anything that you don't agree with or anything, you can just let her know. And I'll make the changes. But if there's nothing else, may I have a motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
second.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
And no one's opposed? We are adjourned 5:34 PM.
Did we want to invite, John?
How do I stop the live stream? Oh, there's this button that says end stream, should I click that? Let's see. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live.
Oh,
End.
be still like beating something.